it is to make a tremendous income by referring others to this business opportunity and our amazing product. So we'll be getting started here right now. All right. The first two things that we're going to cover in the compensation plan is the Fast Start bonus and the customer bonus. Now, these are similar. The Fast Start bonus is actually probably better wording for it would be the first order bonus. Now, it's designed to get your business in profit as fast as possible, and you earn 50% on the first order of every distributor. Now, the only questions we really get on this is a lot of times people are not clear because on some of our packages, the CV is not dollar for dollar. For an example, on the $100 packages where you're getting really good value between $150 and $200 in value, there's 70 CV on that. So again, the first order bonus is based on the CV. So if they buy a single product for $40 or $39.95, that's 40 CV, you're going to make $20. If they buy the package that's $69.95, which is one of the burn and one of the cardio, that's 60 CV, so you'd make 30. If they purchase a $100 challenge pack, that's 70 CV, so you'd make 35. And the only other thing we have in the asterisks here is a lot of times people have the questions on the quarterly orders. So on people that are doing the $99.95 for a quarter, that's actually broken up into 3 orders. And again, because you're getting $20 off, it has a reduced CV of 90 CV. So that is broken up into 3 30 CV orders. The first one counts as your first order, so you make $15. The second 2 30 CV orders go into the matrix, and we'll discuss that here in just a second. Now, the customer bonus is also paid on the CV. So if it's $39.95, that's 40 CV. You're going to make $20. If it's $99.95 with the 70 CV, you're going to make $35. Now, the difference here is you're going to earn that on every order. So on the Fast Start, when somebody becomes a distributor, you earn it on the first order only. On the customer bonus, you earn it on every order. Now what we're going to do is go into the matrix, and before we really get into the detail of the matrix, I'm going to explain exactly how the matrix works. So here's an example. And as you can see, we have 3 different colors here. We have the blue, purple, and green. And what a matrix is, it's just a structure that's designed to have everybody working together as a team. So a 4x5, what that means is 4 wide and 5 levels deep. So as you can see here, we're just going through 2 levels. The first level has 4 people. And then they each have 4 on their first level, which is 16 on the second, 64 on the third, 256, 1024, etc. Now there's 3 ways that these can be filled. Now your first level can really only be filled 2 out of these 3 ways. You can personally enroll people, or you can have upline enrolled, as we show here in the purple, which is also known as spillover. So those are the 2 ways that you can fill your first level. Now, obviously, once you have people in your organization, whether it's personally enrolled or upline enrolled, the third way that you can fill these positions is downline enrolled, and we show that here in the green. So again, this is just an illustration of how 2 levels would look, 4 on your first, and then they each have 4, which would be 16 on your second, and also an illustration of the 3 ways that these positions can be filled. Once again, you can enroll people, your upline can enroll, and then either your upline enrolled or the people you enroll can also enroll people. So that's the way that these positions are filled. There's 1,364 positions in a 4x5 matrix. And again, everybody's working together as a team in order to fill those. Now, once they're filled, it pays a certain percentage on each level, and we're going to go through that right here. So this is based on a $40 order. Now, obviously, if they order more, you're going to earn more. So this is just the basics. On a $40 order, 4 people on your first level pays 2.5%, which is $1 per person. So you'd make $4 on that level. On level 2, also pays 2.5%. On a $40 order, you'd make $1 per person, which is $16. Level 3 pays 5%. There's 64 positions. On a $40 order, it would be $2 per person, or $128 on that level. Level 4 is 256 people. Again, 5%, or $2 per person on a $40 order. You would make $512. And then on your 5th level, which again, there's 1,364 people in a complete 4x5. Over 1,000 of them, 1,024 to be exact, are on your 5th level. That's the reason we pay the bulk of the money where bulk of the people are. So on your 5th level, 20%, which is $8 per person, that's $8,192 potential on that 5th level. So you add that up on a single order, it's $8,852. Now the reason it's important that people understand this, this is what the matrix is based on. This is really the base of our compensation plan. This is what enables people to make an income of $100,000 plus per year by enrolling just one person. So to qualify for all 5 levels, the qualifier is just enroll one person with an active order, and then you're qualified for these levels. Again, the only way that you're going to get paid on that one person is through the people they enroll, and then also upline enrolled in the people they enroll. So once you enroll one person, it doesn't matter if these 4 positions are all spill over from the upline, if these 16 are from people they bring in or spill over, or it doesn't matter. You're paid the same whether you bring them in, your upline brings them in, or your downline brings them in. The next thing that we're going to go over is the matching bonus. Now again, remember, the matching bonus is based on the matrix. So we're going to go through that. The first part of the matching bonus starts when you sponsor one person. So the first person that you sponsor and everybody you sponsor, you make a 25% check match on whatever they make in their 4x5 matrix. So this is just an example. You can obviously earn more than $2,213 per person. The reason I put that, that's just based on a single product. Now our average order is actually closer to $60 or $70 because of the people ordering more than one product. Obviously our average order is not 40, but we're just going with the minimum here to show an example. So 25% of the 8852 is 2,213. So that's the potential on every single person that you sponsor, and obviously you can sponsor unlimited. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of information here on what consists of a generation and how a generation works, because sometimes it's a little bit hard to understand. But what I can tell you is a generation is significantly different than a level. A generation, what we're talking about here is executives, and at the end of the compensation plan overview, we are going to go through the rank chart to show you how you achieve the rank of an executive. So what a generation consists of is an executive or higher. It doesn't matter if they're higher, they're still considered for the generations an executive, and every single person in their organization that is not an executive. So everybody who does not reach the level of executive, you're making a 12% match. So again, the first executive or higher, you're going to make 12% on him and their entire group. Now the computer is going to search down, and it's going to go infinite levels. When it finds another executive within that group that doesn't end your pay, that simply ends your first generation and starts your second generation. Now you're paid on his entire executive group. You're not paid on people here. Levels is when you're paid on one person. Generations is when you're paid on the entire organization. So again, it's going to go into that second generation, infinite levels. When it finds another executive that doesn't end your pay, that simply ends that generation and starts the third generation. Now you're paid on his entire executive group. It's going to search down and find the next executive. When that happens, that's going to end your third and start your fourth. You're paid on that fourth entire team until you find the next that ends your fourth and starts your fifth. That's when your pay would actually end. Now that can be as little as 4 levels if everybody hits executive, or that can be 10 or 15. What we're seeing on average is 20 levels or more to get 4 generations. That's kind of the average right now, but there's no guarantee. Now I will show you how you're guaranteed to get paid at least 10 levels from any person that you sponsor. One of the biggest questions that we have that people ask is, okay, it's a 4x5 matrix. That's pretty straightforward. I understand that, but how do I get paid past the 5th level? Obviously, that's through everybody that you personally sponsor. Remember, you're getting the check match on their 5 levels. So if I sponsor somebody and they end up on my 4th level, then I'm going to get paid down 5 levels of his organization, which goes down to my 9th. But then as you get down to these generations, that can pay extremely deep. And I'll show how you're guaranteed, even if every single person hit executive in the entire company, which really isn't possible because it takes approximately 25 people to build an executive organization, and sometimes more than that. So again, we will go through that here just so that you can see that this plan does pay very deep, and it's one of the most asked questions about the compensation plan as well. How do I get paid past my 5th level? And we'll go through that here in a minute. But what we want to do is just show kind of a graphic of the matching bonuses. Maybe it makes a little bit more sense. Again, we're going 2 levels here. We're showing the people in the blue. If this first person, just for an example, earns $1,000 in his matrix, you're going to make 25% of that, or $250. The second person makes $5,000 in their matrix, you're going to make 25% of that, or $1,250. This third person makes $100 in their matrix, you'd make 25% of that, which is $25. And then it goes down. Once you find the first executive, or if they're not an executive and you are an executive, you're still going to get paid the 12% on everybody within your group. So again, what we're showing here, this is going to include the people you enroll, and then the people in green, which is the people they enroll. There's no way that you can earn a match on spillover. Spillover is based more on a unilevel tree. It has nothing to do with the matrix. So if I sponsor 100 people, it doesn't look to see where they are in the matrix. I make a 25% match on all 100 of those people. And then again, once I reach the rank of executive, I earn an additional 12% matching bonus down 4 generations of executives. So again, the thing I always tell people about the compensation plan, you truly don't have to understand every aspect of it. If you can understand that if you go out, this next part that we're going to talk about, the guaranteed minimum check, if you can go out and find 4 people, we're going to guarantee that you'll make at least $40 a month as long as they stay active. And if you can teach them to do the same thing, everything else in the compensation plan takes care of itself. All you need to understand is, what do I need to do to break even and get my product for free, and then teach others to do that. If you understand that, then you know enough to build a significant income in our compensation structure. So the next 2 parts of the compensation plan are the guaranteed minimum check and the guaranteed income. Now, in order to explain the guaranteed minimum check, this is you need to enroll at least 4 people that are on either a quarterly auto ship or a monthly auto ship, so they have to be active, and then we're going to ensure that your minimum check will be at least $40. So let me give you a quick example here. Let's say that you enroll 4 people, and all 4 of them come in at $39.95 plus shipping and handling. So you're going to make the first order bonus of $20 each, which is $80. So what the computer looks at the end of every month is they're going to see, okay, you enrolled 4 people, and then it's going to look at what your total income is. Now this is going to include first order bonus, customer bonus, matrix pay, and matching bonuses. So those are the main ways that you earn commissions. Now if you've earned more than $40, you do not receive a bonus. Now let's take the next month, and let's say that nobody else sponsored anybody. So you still have 4 people, all 4 of them are active, and they're on your first level. So I have those 4 people. Now I don't make another $20 because they're distributors. I make 2.5%, which is $1. So on those 4 people, last month I made $80. This month I make $4. So the computer is going to look at the end of the month, and it's going to say, okay, I sponsored 4 people. I didn't earn any first order bonus. I didn't earn any customer bonus. I earned $4 in the matrix, and I didn't earn any matching bonus because they don't have anybody underneath them. If that was the case, the computer is going to give me a $36 bonus, making my check equal to $40. So basically, whatever your check is, if it's less than 40, you're going to get a bonus to make up the difference. If your check is $39.80, you're going to get a 20-cent bonus. So that's basically how it works. If your check is $4, you're going to get a $36 bonus, and the bonuses could be anywhere in between. So hopefully that makes sense. Now the guaranteed income, we get quite a few questions on that. Now, the reason for this, a lot of companies guarantee the product just like we do. We have a money-back guarantee on our products, but very few companies that I've seen actually guarantee the business. This is our way of actually guaranteeing the business. Now, it's not for the people who come in and do nothing. If you come in and you don't do anything, we're not going to guarantee the business because, again, this is about enrolling people, telling people about our products, telling people about our story, telling them how they can get paid to lose weight and everything else that we do in a company. But we realize that for whatever reason, sometimes you give it an honest effort, you try, and it just doesn't work out for you. So we want people to give it at least 6 months because we realize it takes a little bit of time to make some money in a network marketing opportunity, and we want them to give some effort. So again, this is really no rocket science or anything that we used to come up with this. This is just basically what we guessed was somebody that's actually giving it some effort and they're at least trying to get the business going. So there's 3 things that have to happen here in order for you to have the opportunity to get your money back on the guaranteed income. So let me explain how this works. We guarantee that you'll be at least $8,000 per month within 6 months if you reach these requirements. Now, if you're not at $1,000 per month, you have the option to get your product purchases back of up to $40 per month and basically say, hey, this didn't work out. I tried. I'm going to go do something else. And then we give them their money back up to $40 per month. Now, the 3 things that have to happen is they need to sponsor 5 within their first 30 days. Now, we think that that's above average effort. And the reason we do 5 is we really want everybody to get 4. 4 is the minimum. 5 will actually create some spillover into the organization. The second thing is you need to keep an active order. So you need to be active with either a quarterly order or a monthly order. And then the last thing is at least 2 of your 5 needs to be active for the 6 months, just so that we can kind of see that you brought in some people that were semi-serious about the business. Now, if you reach those requirements and you're unhappy with the business, you have the ability to get your money back. So that's how the guaranteed income works. And it really is just that. It's our way of saying, hey, give this a try, and if you're not happy in 6 months, you're not making the money, and you actually tried, then you can get your money back. And there's not a lot of companies that are doing that. We're extremely confident that we have the best duplication and retention model in the entire network marketing industry. And this is kind of our way of putting our money where our mouth is, and also giving our reps some good information that might catch some attention, whether it's with postcards or ads or door hangers or flyers or emails with $1,000 guaranteed income or your money back. So again, it's not a lot different than a company offering a money back guarantee on a product. This is our way of offering a money back guarantee on the business. So hopefully that makes sense. The next thing that we're going to cover is the rank chart. And we're going to go through this kind of fast because it's pretty basic information. The first position in our company, which we call a promoter, is just a distributor that has not enrolled anybody yet. So they're not qualified for any commissions. The next one we call a trainer. That's somebody who's enrolled at least 1 person, and hopefully they'll work with them, train that person, and now they're qualified to make a 25% matching bonus, and they're qualified for the entire 4x5 matrix that we covered here a little while ago. Now the next position, this position is key because once you reach the position of executive, you have the compensation plan maxed out, meaning you're earning every part of the compensation plan. The only thing that you're not earning is the one-time cash bonuses that are to reward people for a great effort in reaching the higher rank. So an executive has at least a monthly order of $40, which again, it's $39.95. We realize that. I just wrote 40 to make it easier. So at least the 40 CV, and it actually can be the quarterly order, which is 30 CV. So it doesn't have to be even 40 CV. We're just using that as just a generalization. You need to personally sponsor 4 people that are active. So you have to have 4 active. That qualifies you for the 4x5, the 25% match on your personals, and then you get the 12% down 4 generations of executives. Now again, that's executives or higher. So if somebody is a global vice president, that's still just going to count as an executive, and you're going to be paid on his entire organization on everybody that's a promoter or a trainer. Now I can tell you, at any given time, 90% of the company is promoters and trainers. So this enables you to get a 12% match if you have a large organization on literally thousands of people. There's tremendous income potential in the matching bonuses. So that's the rank of executive. The only other thing there, as you can see at the bottom, no more than 60% of your sponsor tree can come from one leg. So what that means on the $1,000, again, remember your sponsor tree is like a unilevel. That's every single person that you sponsor is on your first level. So if I sponsor 10, that would give me 10 sponsor tree legs. Now, as they sponsor, that's my second level, and as they sponsor, that's my third, et cetera, et cetera. It adds up all of the volume. As soon as it's $1,000, you've reached the first requirement. Now, the next thing that it looks at is, have you sponsored 4 people? If that answer is yes, you've met the second requirement. And the last thing it looks at is, do you have more than $1,000 in volume without taking any more than 60% from one of the sponsor tree legs? Now, that can be kind of confusing to some people, but that means you, for each of these levels, for an example, for executive, you can only use up to $600 from one leg. Now, the biggest question we get on this is people are thinking that that has to do with the matrix legs and there's only 4 legs. No, this is unilevel. There's unlimited legs. Everybody that you sponsor is a leg. So obviously, if you're going to reach the rank of executive, you have a minimum of 4 legs. And how that works is no more than 60% can come from one leg, or $600 for executive. It'd be no more than $3,000 could come from any one leg for regional executive, no more than $15,000 from any one leg of national executive, and then it goes on no more than $30,000 for international executive, or $60,000 for vice president. So what that's meaning is the other 40% needs to come from all of your other legs combined. Now, we do have a report in the back office that you can see what your current group volume is every single day up to the minute, and then also what your biggest leg is. So if you realize, and if you go to the website under the opportunity and you pull up the compensation plan, it shows how much you can take from one leg on all of the positions. So again, I'll just give it an example here. It'd be easier if I pulled that chart up that you could see it, but hopefully you can follow me here. Let me just give 2 examples. I'll give one that is an executive and one that is not an executive. Let's say that your total volume is $1,200, and your biggest leg is $800. So what it's going to look at is you can only take 600 from your biggest leg, so it's going to drop that biggest leg to 600, which is going to take 200 off. That's going to leave your total volume at 1,000. So in that scenario, you would be an executive. So again, your total volume is 1,200. Your biggest leg is 800. So I take the 200 off. I have the 600 plus the 400 additional volume, and now I'm an executive. Now let's say that same thing. Let's say I have 1,200 in volume, but my biggest leg is 900. So if I take the 900 from the 1,200, that is 300. That means I have 300 outside of my biggest leg. I can only take 600 from my biggest leg. So you take the 600 plus the 300, that equals 900. In that case, I'm not an executive. So even though I have 1,200 in volume and I've sponsored 4 people, I'm not an executive. I'm $100 short on my all of my other legs combined. So hopefully that makes sense. It can be kind of confusing, but once that light bulb clicks and you understand it, it really is pretty basic, and we do give you the reports that you need in order to follow that in the back office. Now the next 3 things that we're going to cover, the first one I'm going to cover illustrating how you get paid much deeper than the 5 levels. Now in order to do this, we're going to, just for a minute here, assume that it's a perfect world and every single person sponsors 4 people. The reason for that, it's easier to explain by showing that. Now we realize it's not going to ever work this way, but this will still show you how you're guaranteed. This is a great case scenario, but at the same time it's also the worst case scenario because you're blocked out as much as you possibly can. Instead of it being generations, every single person would eventually reach executive if every single person sponsored 4. So it actually is only levels. But you're going to see, even if that was the case and you never sponsored a 5th person, as soon as you sponsor that 5th person, you have another unlimited income potential, because they can sponsor unlimited and they can sponsor unlimited, et cetera, et cetera. But we're going to say nobody ever sponsors a 5th. This is what your income would be limited to on a single product purchase. So again, obviously our average is more than one product, so our average order would be much more than this. So this is your basic 4x5, and then we're going deeper than that. So in bold, we have your 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and actually your 10th level. So 4 on your first level, 16 on your second, 64 on your third, 256 on your fourth, 1,024 on your fifth. That's your 4x5 matrix, 1,364 positions. If you fill that matrix, you're going to earn $8,852. So we have that right here. Now again, remember, just for illustration purposes, we're saying you sponsored these 4. So you sponsored the front line. They each sponsored 4, which is the second level. They each sponsored 4, which is the third, and that's how it works out. So remember, on your personals, you get a 25% matching bonus. So the 25% matching bonus is each one of them is earning $8,852. So you're matching 2213 times 4 is another 8852. So on this level, the check match is 8852. Now, as you can see, this is their first level, second level, third, fourth, and fifth. So your 6th level is their 5th level. So now all of a sudden you're getting paid on those 4,094 positions on your 5th level. Now the next thing, we're looking at the generation matches. So these 16 people are making 8852 because their 5th level is your 7th level. Now you're getting paid on the 7th level. That's I don't remember the exact amount off the top of my head. It was, I think, 1,052 or something like that, which is 12% of 8852. So if you take the 16 times that, you have $16,992 that you're earning in check matches. Again, this is just everybody getting 4. Then we have the 64. Their 5th level is your 8th level. Now, as they each fill, and they're each earning 8852, you get the check match of 64 times the 1,052 or whatever it is. It's an additional $67,968. And that continues on. As you can see, the 256, their 5th level, is your 9th level. With their check matches, you would earn $271,872. And then your 5th level, their 5th level is your 10th level. You earn 1,024 matching checks, which would be $1,087,488. You add all that up, that's $1.4 million plus per month, and that is if every single person blocked you out. Again, that's the perfect world, just to show how it gets paid deeper. What we're seeing on average is paying closer to 20 levels, not 10. And remember, that's 20 levels from wherever the person that you sponsor is. So if you sponsor somebody that falls on your 3rd level, you can get paid a minimum of 10 more levels in their group, but more realistic, you're probably going to get paid at least 20 levels or more in their group. So this compensation plan not only pay a tremendous amount of income, but it can pay very deep, even though the base plan is that 4x5 matrix. So hopefully that clears that up a little bit for everybody. Now what we're going to go through is just a couple income scenarios. There's a couple ways that people look at it. Again, the goal being to get 4. This is going to show you how somebody could make over $250,000 per year working this business in their spare time and get to that type of an income in 12 weeks. This is the type of effort that you would need to put into it. Now, a lot of people probably just watched the Olympics the last couple weeks, and in the track and field, they have all different races. They have the 100 meters and the 200 meters, and the sprint seem to be the most exciting. If I asked every single person on this webinar who won the 100 meter or the 200 meter, probably at least 80% would tell me. Now, if I asked everybody on this webinar who won the marathon, probably maybe only a couple percent could tell me who won the marathon or even the mile or the 5 mile. So there's different ways that you can build the business, and we say it's like this way would be more like the sprinters, and then the next one I'm going to show you would be more like the distance runners, just taking a little bit more time. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to build the business, and it doesn't matter the strategy that you decide to work with on your team. But what this is showing is if you enroll 4 people, and you're never enrolling more than 4 in this scenario, you enroll 4 people in your first 2 weeks, and then you duplicate that effort. So you enroll 4 people in your first 2 weeks. We're just talking about the residual here. We're not talking about the fast starts. Your income would be $40 because of the guaranteed minimum check. Now weeks 3 and 4, they do the same thing. So those 4 each get 4. So your first month you have a total of 20 distributors in your organization. Again, you would make $40 on that because you would be at the guaranteed minimum check. Now weeks 5 and 6, those 16 get their 4, which is 64 people, and weeks 7 and 8, those 64 get their 4, which is 256, and weeks 9 and 10, that just continues again. It's just everybody getting 4 in a 2-week period. Now we use this scenario here on the webinar that we do on EPX Body Live, excuse me, and a lot of people have asked me why we're showing 6 levels when it's a 4x5 matrix. So hopefully that previous slide showed that you get paid well past your 5th level. The reason we're showing 6 is because we're duplicating here every 2 weeks, and if we're doing a 12-week plan or approximately 90 days, you're going to go through 6 cycles, which takes you down to the 6th level. So the income you'd be making is over $20,000 per month, and in addition to that, you will have earned over $20,000 in matching, or excuse me, in rank bonuses. So this is an example of somebody who really wants to get their business going, and they're working fast. I was just doing meetings in LA, and we gave several examples. And I happened to have the company checkbook with me, and I had somebody come up front, and I told them, you know, if I would give you a check right now for $10,000, and the only catch was you had to find 4 people in 1 hour, do you think that you could do it? And every single person at that meeting said, I could definitely find 4 people in an hour if you was going to give me a $10,000 check right now. And so we talked about that just for a second. Well, what if those 4 had that same offer of $10,000 by getting 4? Do you think they could do it? And they had the same offer. How long would it take you to fill a 4x5 matrix? It would take you 5 hours. So if you went with that mindset, in 5 hours, you will have done everything to earn over a $10,000 check. Now, I'm not saying that somebody can do it in 5 hours. I know it's probably humanly possible, but not very realistic. But is it realistic to do it in 90 days? I think it's very realistic. Now, the company's been going for more than 90 days, and we haven't had somebody fill a 4x5 matrix, even though we have several people that have more than 1,300 people in their organization, but they have not filled a perfect matrix. So even though I know it's possible, we haven't had somebody do it. But what I can tell you is I feel 100% once the first person in the company fills their matrix in 90 days, it's going to be something that we see happen faster and faster and faster, because it's not that difficult to find 4 people in 2 weeks. We've had some people already find, 15 or 20 people in their first week or their first 2 or 3 days even. So 4 people in 2 weeks is not that unrealistic, and they can do the same exact thing. So again, the amount of money that can be made is tremendous, and to find 4 people in 2 weeks, that shouldn't be a full-time effort. You can find 4 people in 2 weeks working the business no more than a half hour to maybe 1 or 2 hours per day. This is spare time. So just think to yourself for a second, if you really could make that type of an income, over $20,000, just in the next 90 days, what type of effort would that be worth to you? What would that do for yourself? What would that do for your family? What type of pressure would that take off of you? And then the next question is, well, then why don't you do it? It's definitely possible. I guarantee you we're going to have people in this company within the first year do it in less than 90 days. So why not you? Again, set the goals, get your team excited. This is all about duplication. That's the key. And that's the next step that we're going to show here. A lot of people have seen this type of diagram known as the power of one. Now this is different. This is sponsoring one person per month. Some people think that's easier. Some people think it's harder. At the end of the year, you've sponsored 12 people. And the other projection we showed just sponsoring 4. So again, here you're sponsoring more people. It's just taking longer to sponsor each one. And the duplication is a lot smaller number, but it's still duplication. So this is going through your first 6 months. And I also like to show this because I like to point some things out, that duplication takes a little bit of time. And a lot of people get frustrated, and you'll be able to see why here. So let's just go really quick and say that your first month you sign up 1 person. Your second month you sign up another person. So now you've signed up 2, and the first person signed up 1. So that's a total of 3, and that continues on. You can see here in 3 months you have a total group of 7 people. Now, the only way you're making $22 in that scenario is because you're sponsoring 1 person every month. So 20 of the $22 that you're earning is on that first order bonus, and the other $2 is on the 2 people that have a residual order that's not paid in the fast start. So that's why you're at $22 there. So again, this here is the entire reason why a lot of people give up on their dreams, is they look at their business and they've been in for 90 days and they have 6 or 7 people and they're making, let's say that you didn't sponsor somebody, you made $2, and you're thinking, man, I'm working the business, I'm trying, I've been in for 90 days and I'm at a residual income of $2. This just isn't working. I better find something else. But again, is it working or is it not working? The only difference between that $2 and a $250,000 per year income is a little bit more time and a little bit of duplication. So again, as we go to the 4th month, the only reason you're at $40 is because now you're getting the guaranteed minimum check. So again, 4 months into it, if you're just looking at the residual income and we didn't have a guaranteed minimum, your check would be well less than $40. And people are thinking again, man, I've been doing this for 4 months. I'm making, very little money. This isn't working. I better find something else. But again, that same question, is it working or is it not? If you can just get your people duplicating, now all of a sudden you're only 8 months away from a $250,000 plus residual income. So as you can see, 6 months, a group of 63, at least now you're getting your product for free and making a little bit of money, maybe paying for your cell phone or part of your cell phone or paying for some gas or something, a little bit of groceries, a few meals, but you're still not making tremendous income, and you've been going for 6 months. Again, a little bit of duplication and a little bit more time, you can be making a $300,000 per year residual income. And it doesn't really start to get exciting here until months 9, 10, 11, and 12. And now all of a sudden, then you start making the money. You can see here in month 12, you're making over the $20,000 per month. And that, again, is not including all of the bonuses that you got. So hopefully that gives people a little bit better understanding of our compensation plan, gives you a couple ideas of some goals that you can set for yourself, whether it's to sponsor 1 person per month. But again, here's the big thing. This is a duplication business and it's a retention business. You need to duplicate and retain. Because if you sponsor 1 per month and you don't duplicate, what's going to happen at the end of the year, you have 12 people. Now, if you have 12 people, that's going to be 4 people on your first level and 8 people on your second level. You're making $12, but you're all going to qualify for the guaranteed minimum check, so you're making $40. Now, making $40 is tremendously different than making $20,000. Now, the only difference in the two is one of them, you're creating duplication, and the other, you're not creating duplication. So again, what's the most important thing in this business? Sponsoring people or training and duplicating? Obviously, training and duplicating is the most important part of this business. Now, even if 100% of the people don't duplicate, realistically, you're going to have many people that sponsor way more than one per month. You're going to have a lot of people that sponsor 0 per month. You're going to have some people that quit after a day, some people that quit after 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. So what you're doing is you're setting a goal and you're trying to achieve some percentage of that goal. So even if you achieve 10% of this goal after a year, you're making over $2,000 per month, which is over $24,000 per year, which is actually approximately the average full-time income in North America, and you're doing this in your spare time, sponsoring one person per month. So again, even if you're 1% of that, you're going to be making an extra $200 or $300 per month. It's said that most bankruptcies could be would not happen if people were making just an extra $300 per month. A lot of times people are just a little bit behind, which keeps them getting a little bit deeper and deeper in debt every single month. So even 1% of that is still worth it. So let's just look at one scenario before we open it up to a Q&A. How could I sponsor one person per month? Obviously, there's people I can talk to. There's all different things. One way is we have the lead packages in the back office for $50, 200 leads. Is it possible to sponsor one person out of 200? Well, definitely, I think it's possible. That's a 0.5% sign-up rate. And so what you're going to start seeing over this next week is a lot of recorded calls and a lot of phone scripts and basic information that we're going to be going over on next week's call, really focused on making it easy to sign up that one person per month or more in your spare time. If I'm following up with, just as an example, if I'm following up with 200 leads in a month, in order for me to follow up with all 200 of them and do my best, call all of them, at least leave them a voicemail, send them emails, do everything that I can think of to try and get them to look at the business, that is probably about 10 or 15 minutes per day worth of work to get a hold of 200 people in 1 month. So again, we're talking about spare time income that can, within 1 year's time, create tremendous income. I mean, look at the alternative. Look at everybody doing the supposed American dream, graduating high school, going to college, and they're going to college for 4 years, paying at least 10 or 20, in some cases $100,000 per year for this education. And 4 years later, they're hoping to get a job that can pay them $50,000 or $60,000 per year if they can find a job. We saw a statistic just a few days ago when we were working on one of our systems that showed more than 50% of graduating college students cannot find a full-time job in their field. So again, they almost wasted their time of 4 years. Now, I don't think it's a waste of time. There's a lot of things that you learn in college. I'm 100% for getting an education. I graduated in 1996, so I got my college degree. I have never really used my college degree, with the exception of maybe sales and stuff. My degree is in psychology. But again, if people just spare time in 1 year, the amount of income that you can make in this business is tremendous once you understand how it works. And what we're really going to focus on over the rest of this year is training to make sure that all of our distributors that plug in have everything that they need to succeed. So over the next 12 months, they can reach their goals, whatever they are. If it's to make an extra $20,000 per year or an extra $2 million per year, it's all possible with the compensation plan. And that's really what the purpose of this presentation was. So what we're going to do now is just open it up to the Q&A.